You're a special breed of cowboy, riding the open road, Boston to the bayous, pulling the mother load. 300 horses, making them hum, headed down that highway in the early morning sun. And we're in it for the long haul, behind you every mile, a team you can count on every day. You're the best at what you do, and it makes us proud that you're riding the white stallion of the highway. We put you in the best rig and keep those wheels rolling. We'll get some miles and then get you back home. We respect your independence, we'll back you all the way. We're dedicated people, doing what it takes. And we're in it for the long haul, behind you every mile, a team you can count on every day. You're the best at what you do, and it makes us proud that you're driving the white stallion of the highway. We're in it for the long haul. Know how about a truckload? Delivering your future. Delivering your future. MS carriers and you. We believe in honesty, telling it like it is, working it out together, moving it out there better. Texas and Ohio, West Virginia, Tennessee, Louisiana, Mississippi, Georgia and Missouri, Canada to Mexico. You're riding with the best team on the road, delivering your future. MS carriers and you. And we're in it for the long haul, behind you every mile, a team you can count on every day. You're the best at what you do, and it makes us proud that you're driving the white stallion of the highway. In it for the long haul. In it for the long haul. Delivering your future. Delivering your future. MS carriers and you. Mount 'em up and let's get some miles. And we're in it for the long haul. 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 Delivering your future. Delivering your future. MS carriers and you.
Hi, and welcome to yet another edition of the MS Carriers Delivering Your Future program. I'm Keith Schaefer, and once again, I'm pleased to be your host. Now, this is both a special and important edition of our continuing Delivering Your Future program. It's special because it was about this time of year, 20 years ago, that MS Carriers got started as a company. Now, we're going to share some of those stories about how it all got started with you later on. But this tape's also very important. There's some big benefit changes taking place that you need to know about. So you need to pay particular attention to the benefits segment of this tape. We're going to give you some vital information and tell you what you need to do. But as always, the best place to start is right at the top. So let's go directly to President and CEO, Mike Starnes.
Good morning, everybody. This is Mike Starnes. This is our tape going out to you folks out there, and I hope this is a good way to communicate with you. We feel like it is, and we'd like to have feedback from y'all as to how you feel about the way we communicate via these tapes. This is sort of a special time of year for me, and this year is special for me. It's our 20th anniversary. It's hard to believe that we started this company 20 years ago with one truck and got to where it is today, operating over 3,500 trucks and 10,000 vans and 4,000 associates. And, that's a tribute to all of you folks out there that has helped us get to where we are. I certainly can't take credit for where we are today. Credit really belongs to all of you people out there that's taking care of our customers, delivering our freight, taking care of our customers and doing a good job, because that's what makes it happen. But we didn't get to where we are today by not treating people right, and I hope you folks feel that way about MS Carriers. The one thing that I'm proud of is you grow a company as fast as we have over 20 years. You don't do that by abusing people and lying to them and misleading them. We try to have honesty and integrity in our dealings with you, our employees, and with our customers and our vendors. And I hope you find that to be true at MS Carriers, and I think you will. But this is a special week with our 20th anniversary. We're in a great strategic position as a company. As many of you know out there, a lot of trucking companies not doing very well, and freight's really good right now. And if they're not making money now, they're sure not going to make any money when the economy turns down. And we think a lot of the carriers that are out there today, the medium-sized carriers, are probably going to go away and not going to be in business 3 to 5 years from now. And we're going to be a player in the consolidation of the truckload industry. We made 2 acquisitions already in the last year. We'd like to make another one this year. So we're going to be looking for acquisitions, and we'll be buying companies over the next 3 to 5 years, and we'll continue to grow and be an industry leader. And all of you, I think, will benefit from that. It opens up new opportunities for you, maybe in dedicated operations or other type operations where we can get you home on a more regular basis. And that's one of our philosophies, is to get you folks home on a regular basis. We got probably the most liberal get-home policy of anywhere in the industry, and I'm really proud of that. The other thing is our stock's been doing pretty well recently, and all of you got stock. It's been here 6 months, got stock options, and it's pulled back a little bit in the last few days, but it'll come back. So this is a way for you to create wealth, and it's a way for you to have ownership in a company, and we're real proud of that. There's not another truckload carrier in America that has a broad-based stock option plan like we have, and that's just our way of sharing the wealth with you. If we make money, you're going to make money as well. A couple issues that I like to talk to you about on these tapes that's always a concern of ours, and first is safety. As you know, we're having way too many accidents, and we got a very rigid screening process. We try to make sure we don't hire people that's going to be prone to have accidents, but sometimes they do. And we are doing everything we can to try to make all of our drivers aware and teaching them how not to have accidents, because we believe accidents are preventable, and it's not a reason to have an accident. And it's mostly tied to being aware of what's going on around you and being alert and paying attention to what you're doing. The people I talk to has got 1 million miles or 2 million miles without accidents, and I ask them what's the key to it, and they say, I always am paying attention to what I'm doing. I'm always alert. I don't ever change lanes without making sure there's nobody on the right or left, and I'm always looking down the road at the big picture. There's a lot of construction going on in the interstates today, and if you're sitting there half asleep going down the interstate and you're doing 60, 65 miles an hour, and all of a sudden the traffic stops in front of you, there's no way you can stop an 80,000-pound vehicle in the right amount of time without running over somebody in front of you and possibly killing them. So please be alert, look at the big picture, and just don't do anything without knowing what you're doing. We have a lot of backing accidents as well. There's no reason to back over something. If you don't know what's behind you, get out and look. It only takes a minute. All the times I was driving, I never had an accident. I'm proud of that. So please be careful out there, folks, and do not have accidents, because they're very costly to our company. And it can be very costly to you. I mean, if you have a serious accident, there's a chance you're going to get seriously hurt or even killed, and we certainly don't want that situation happening and have to call your family and tell them you won't be home. The other thing is just the industry and the economy right now. I think all of you are running real well according to the numbers we're getting. I get every week. Our utilization is real good, which means y'all are running good, and we feel good about that, so you got to be making good money. I think the key to it is we're trying to get better at making sure every time you get unloaded, we got a load waiting for you, because the worst thing can happen to you is be out there and not have a load, and you're sitting there away from home and not working. And believe me, we're putting a lot of focus on that, because we know you don't like that, and guess what? We don't like it either. We can't make money if you're sitting out there idle and got time available to run. We got to keep you moving, keep you loaded, because that's the only way we can make money, and it's the only way you can make money. But we feel really good about the economy the rest of the year. We think we're in a real strong position. We're going to have miles when a lot of other carriers don't have miles, because we got a really strong marketing team. And I think we do a better job of keeping our drivers loaded and moving than other companies. I think we got the best equipment on the road as well. So we feel like if you want to be in trucking, you can hear a lot of good stories about the pasture or greener somewhere else, but it's usually stories. It's usually not the case. And I work every day to try to make sure if you want to be in trucking, that MS Carriers is the best place in the nation to work. And yeah, we got our problems. We're not perfect, but we believe you got to go a long way and look real hard to find a better place to work if you want to be in trucking than at MS Carriers. And I also want to sign off here and say that I don't get a chance to talk to y'all on a regular basis, but I really do appreciate what all of you do for MS Carriers. Without you out there and your professionalism, we wouldn't be the company we are. Without you taking care of our customers, we wouldn't be able to keep the customers we got. So without y'all, we certainly can't make it and can't be successful, and I really, really appreciate everything you do for MS Carriers. With that, have a safe day, and again, thanks for what you do for our company.
Now let's check in with Mike Reeves, Senior Vice President of Driver Services. Gee, Mike, 20 years, what a benchmark as a company. Has much changed over the last 20 years?
A few things changed in the company in the last 20 years. When I first started with MS Carriers back in July of 1980, we were renting 2 rooms in a warehouse from Bill Guthrie on the real Florida street. And later on, we moved up the street in Florida to our own building, and we thought we were really something at that time. And I was looking at a letter I wrote to someone back in September of '81. We were real proud. We had 53 tractors and 145-foot high-Q drive van trailers, and we were real proud of them. And we were serving West Tennessee and all points in Louisiana, Arkansas, Mississippi, and the Chicago area of Illinois. And that was about it at the time. Certainly been a lot of changes. Us being a North American carrier now with all 48 states, Canada, and Mexico, it's a huge change. All for the better, but the same core values stay here: integrity, good equipment, good service. Wonderful company over the last 20 years.
And Mike, I think all that really shows, because I know everyone I work with on this tape is really wonderful. But each of the drivers out there, they're each an ambassador for MS Carriers, an ambassador to the customer. They're also an ambassador to the public in general in the professionalism and the way they handle themselves on the road. And it's really a tribute to the MS Carriers' reputation and image.
Well, that's a good point, and we really appreciate our drivers. Without our drivers, we would not have a company. It's just that simple. And that brings a thought to mind. We are always listening to our drivers and trying to find ways to make it easier for them to pick up and deliver freight safely and on time. And we've had a lot of suggestions from our driving force that it's a problem for them to keep up with the receipts on tolls, scale tickets, and the pay POs under $25, which the drivers are to keep for 6 months when we spot audit. And they've asked us, can't we just send the receipts in and you keep up with them for us? That's a lot of extra work for our POD department, but Kathy Havens and her group have agreed that that would be better. So we are in the process of implementing the program so that drivers can send in all of the receipts under $25 and all from $1 up, and we will keep up the receipts here. They will not have to, because I'd hate to have to try to keep up with a bunch of little bitty receipts myself for 6 months. So we are listening to our drivers, and we're always trying to change things that will make life easier for them. We appreciate the suggestion from the drivers. We also want to bring to our drivers' attention and always keep focused on safety. Number one, that is the number one thing in MS Carriers. Please, please be careful out there. And also our service. That's the only thing that we have to sell is service. That's the only product we have. And our drivers are the only people that can produce this product. And we appreciate your on-time service and your safety on the nation's highways. Thank you.
At the top of the program, we told you that there would be a segment on this tape containing very important benefit information. Well, now's the time. So without further ado, let's check in with John Hudson, Vice President of Human Resources.
I've got some very important information I'd like to share with drivers about the health insurance program at MS Carriers. Several months ago, we were informed by Pan American Life, who has been our third-party administrator for our health insurance for over 15 years, that they had decided to get out of the healthcare business and had put their company up for sale. This, of course, was a great concern to us because Pan American has done, we think, a very good job in processing our claims and handling problems for our drivers and their families. Several weeks ago, they announced that a company called American Medical Supply out of Green Bay, Wisconsin, had purchased their book of business and would be taking over the MS Carrier account effective July the 1st of '98. During the last several weeks, we've had a number of meetings with the individuals from American Medical Security to go over a number of very detailed processing problems and discussion of levels of benefits to make sure that to the extent we can, we want the change to be seamless to our employees, and they've given us great assurances that this will occur. Just a couple of things in passing, and then we'll talk more specifically about the change. First and most importantly, there will be no change in the level of benefits for MS Carriers drivers and their families, so that is certainly good news. We will have two small changes in PPO providers, and we'll talk about those later. We find that there's going to be several major improvements in the processing capability of AMS versus Pan American that I think will provide better service to the drivers and their families. Today I've got John Richard with me. John is the manager of Comp and Benefits. John has been working very closely with the people from AMS and has worked out a number of details, and I'd like him to cover specifically the things that will change. John?
John, thank you. Here are some of the things that we think are going to be very much better with AMS as opposed to what we had with Pan American Life over the years. AMS provides a 24-hour-a-day access through customer service representatives who are available through a toll-free number, 800-232-5432. Second, a toll-free phone service staffed by knowledgeable, caring nurses is available to all drivers and their family 24 hours a day, every day, at no charge to the company. Our employees simply dial 800-420-NURSE or 800-420-6877. They can obtain answers to questions about a medical illness or symptoms, a chronic medical condition, healthcare facilities or physicians near their home or when they're traveling, pregnancy and newborn, and health and wellness. The nurse will assess the level of medical care needed, help the employee decide what action to take, and provide guidance when needed. All claims are entered into the AMS claims processing system within 24 hours of receipt. We expect that will speed up the payment of all employee claims. The explanation of benefits forms, also known as an EOB, that employees receive will be much more detailed and easier to understand than those previously provided by Pan American Life. Now, our vision care will still be provided through Vision Service Plan, VSP. No changes there. All employees in the health care plan will receive new AMS insurance ID cards. At this time, we have not yet determined whether or not the 800-330-4MSC toll-free number will be included on the card. But we can tell you that AMS and its staff of programmers are diligently working to accommodate our request, and we feel confident that this will be accomplished. We should be able to provide you more information in the very near future. Now, new ID cards will be issued on or shortly after July 15th. And one point here, it's extremely important that we have the current and correct mailing address for all of our employees. As John mentioned before, most preferred provider organization networks, better known as PPOs, will remain in place. However, there will be some changeover that will affect a small number of covered employees. Those individuals affected will receive information regarding new networks when available.
Our prescription drug card service will change from Prescription Card Service, PCS, to ProVantage on August 1st. The same type of prescription coverage will be available, but at more locations, and we see this as a very strong plus. The two utilization management or pre-certification companies that we currently use, which are Intracorp and PHCS, will be phased out and replaced on August 1st by a company called Accountable. However, Intracorp will remain as the UM for psychiatric issues. Now, in closing, as is the case with any changeover or transition, there will be things that come up to cause some of us minor problems. We ask everyone to be patient and understanding as we go forward with this process. We are working hard to make sure that there is minimal disruption to our processes, and if things go wrong, we encourage you to notify the Benefits Department about those issues. Likewise, if things go well, we would also like to hear from you.
John, that's an awful lot of information for everyone to absorb just off of this tape. I'm sure you'll be circulating a variety of printed material and other communication about all the details concerning this matter.
As a matter of fact, by the time of this tape, all of our drivers should have heard a voicemail from me covering these topics. We are going to do a mail out within this week of the information that I just put out here. And in addition, we will have an article in the Carrier for the July issue, which should be to everyone's home by about mid-July on the same issues.
So, John, if they haven't received those materials or haven't seen them yet by the time that they get this tape, they should call your office and kind of check on the status of that.
That's correct. They should use our 800 number and talk to anyone in the Benefits Department. Rosalind Burton at 4733, Peggy Cartner at 4777, or me at 4709. And again, I have to emphasize that it's extremely important that everyone update us with their current and correct mailing address.
I think in closing, I have one comment relative to AMS. In meeting with the officials from the company, I certainly have a very high level of confidence in their ability to provide good service and their interest in really delighting us. And of course, in any type of change like this, I'm sure there's going to be some problems. And they are very much committed to working with us to alleviate those problems. And I'm sure if each of the drivers and their spouses will contact the Benefits Department when problems arise, we'll work them out and we'll have as smooth a transition as we possibly can.
Alan Loy McGinnis points out that for 9 years, the record for the mile run hovered just above 4 minutes. Many people believed it was impossible to break that barrier. Then in 1954, Roger Bannister broke the tape at 3:59. Over the next 2 years, the 4-minute mile was bettered 66 times by 26 different men. Some would say that improved competition produced the lower times. But there had been plenty of good competition before the 4-minute mile was broken. The difference was in motivation. The impossible mark was shown to be possible. Therefore, more runners were willing to challenge it. Any significant achievement begins with a person believing it's possible. Whatever one's goal may be, a reconciled marriage, a change of lifestyle, or a cure for cancer, one must believe that with God, all things are possible. I'm Bill Balknight, and these are Perceptions from Christ United Methodist Church.
Welcome to the second half of the MS Carriers Delivering Your Future program. Now it's time for us to check in with Jerry Stairs, Manager of Driver Retention. Jerry, good morning to you.
Good morning. This is Jerry Stairs, Manager of Driver Retention. I want to take a few minutes and talk with all of you this morning. Some of you are aware of what my role is with MS Carriers, but some of you that I haven't had the opportunity to meet, I want to tell you a little bit about my job and that I am there for you, the driver. I'm accountable for driver retention, and my main goal is to take the misery out of your job by working with you, the driver, and also with our driver services group. And I want all of you, if you would, the next time that you think about something that can improve your job, I would like for you to leave me a mailbox 4701, leave me a message, and let me know your thoughts. You know more than me or anyone else with this company how we can improve your job. You're a very valuable asset to MS Carriers. Without you, the driver, we don't have anything. We will not be able to grow and be prosperous as we have the last 20 years with the company. The driver, you, the driver, is the key to our success. You need to always remain focused on your job. Be the professional. Be proud of this profession, because not everybody can drive a truck like you folks can. Remember the chain of command. If you have a question, a problem of any kind, you need to go to your safety service leader. Next, if you're not satisfied, you go to your safety service group leader. Then you can go to the Vice President of Driver Services, Mike Reeves, or you can come to me, Jerry Stairs, Manager of Driver Retention. We want you to stay with this company. We want to work out problems that you might have. Now, I talk every week in a driver orientation, and we have rehires that come in 5 to 10 a week, and usually they've left MS Carriers and have come back, but the reason they've left is because they didn't get their problems worked out. Most of them were personal problems. So if you need somebody to talk to, take the time. Don't get upset and end up leaving, and then a few days later you wish you were back with MS Carriers, because we do have a lot of people that come back, of course, if their driving record is such that we want them to come back for the company. Something else I'm also looking into is some programs to get your families involved here with MS Carriers. Most of your families are the ones that take care of the insurance and the benefits, kind of hold down the home front while you're gone. So we're trying to come up with some things where we can get your spouse involved. And I always want to leave this with you, that we do care about you at MS Carriers, and I want you to remember, when you're out there on the road, you're the most important person out there. You're number one. Take care of yourself, number one, because each and every one of you have loved ones that care for you. They don't want anything to happen to you. We don't want anything to happen to you. So if you would, please, if you have ways that you think we can improve your job, leave me a message, Jerry Stairs, at 4701. Take care of yourself. Take care of one another. Thank you.
Now let's check in with Mark Weber, Senior Safety Manager.
I've been involved in transportation for the last 15 years. I've been involved with the regular truckload and LTL as a terminal manager, and I also was a recruiter, and I've driven a truck. For the last 7 years, I've been involved in fleet safety management. And as a previous driver, I understand the decisions drivers have to make and the responsibility that comes with providing consistent service to our customers and operating safety to protect our corporate goals. I started with MS Carriers in April, and I'm extremely proud to be a part of this organization. And as you all are aware, MS Carriers is well known and well respected as a company that's successful at doing what they do. And I look forward to the challenges and opportunities here at MS Carriers. I myself am a big believer in providing the driver with the opportunity to succeed, and I feel personal responsibility to assist the driver in achieving his or her personal and professional goals. A large part of what we wish to achieve in safety is an increased safety awareness. As we all know, there's an inherent risk that goes with operating in today's environment. We will make mistakes? Yes. Will we have accidents? Yes. Our objective is to provide the information and support that will prevent us from making the same mistakes twice. Some key elements that I identify with are proper trip planning, proper rest and time management, defensive driving, and vehicle and load security. It's important to identify our known risks, increase our understanding of why accidents happen, and adjust the way we drive to lessen and eliminate our exposure to the losses related to accidents. Our success will be measured in our ability to consistently and safely service our customers. I have to touch on serious accidents. There are 4 accident categories that expose us to the greatest loss and provide us with the greatest opportunity to decrease the dollars spent as a result of these accidents. The first one is rear-end accidents. Second is rollover accidents. Then we have run-under accidents, and then accidents resulting from improper lane changes. We've determined that the cause related to these accidents is aggressive driving. We have to realize that it's important to be on time and to serve our customers, but it's more important to be on time and serve our customers safely. It's the most important thing we do and should be part of what we do every day. Communication is the key to understanding, and the safety group is here to serve and support the drivers and the driver services group. I encourage all drivers to get involved with the business of operating safely, and I welcome comments to improve how we do what we do. And feel free to contact us. We are here to support and serve you, the driver. I understand that operating in the environment, it sometimes can be a real challenge. We operate in a system where people do what they want to do, and operating out in the general public, that we can't always anticipate what's going on. I think in the past we've really had a real keen awareness. You know, we can certainly all move towards a goal to be safer than we are. We've had a good safety record, and we continue to move towards a better safety record. I think it all goes to show that drivers that really care and really do a good job, pay attention to what they do, and really have their heads in the game will really make the difference in whether or not we're successful in safety or whether or not we have high dollars related to safety. So I really take my hat off to the people that are out there doing the job every day. It's important what they do. It's important that we all at MS Carriers recognize that the drivers are one of the most important elements of what we're all about. And I appreciate it. And I look forward to talking to you as individuals and communicating future goals. And come and see me. I'd like to talk to you.
Thanks, Mark. It's great to have you on board. Now let's go to an issue that seems to capture everyone's attention. Money. I'm talking about our sign-up bonus program. Let's check in with Philip Schoonover, Driver Orientation Coordinator. Philip, good morning to you.
Good morning, all MS Carrier drivers. I want to come to you with a few points today from the recruiting department. First off, I want to let everyone know that we have extended the owner-operator sign-on bonus through July 31st. This is $500 for every new truck that's signed on as an owner-operator. This does apply to fleet owners. Fleet owners, if you're out there listening, please bring the trucks in. Any new truck that you bring in with a driver through July 31st, we'll give you a check for $500 after they complete the first trip. Leading into that also, I want to remind all of our drivers we still have one of the best referral bonus programs out there. For a company driver, we'll give you $400 after they complete orientation in one trip. For owner-operators, we'll give you $200 after orientation in one trip. And also our students, we give you a $100 referral fee for every student after they complete the 4-week class. We want everyone to please be out there recruiting for the company. It's going to help everyone. It'll drive the stock prices up. Another point I want to address with everyone today is we've got great news from the Veterans Administration. They have approved MS Driving Academy for students who are eligible to get veterans educational assistance from the Veterans Administration. So if you know anyone that's a veteran looking to change careers or wanting to get into the truck driving industry, refer them over to us. We'll get them set up and get them the educational assistance that they need. We're going to have some recruiters out at one of our truck shows here on July 9th and 10th. Joel Weathers and Don Laprelle will be at the Walcott, Iowa Truck Show. I'd like to invite everyone to come by and sit down, have a cup of coffee or drink a Coke with one of these two gentlemen, visit with them, and get to see what we're doing out on the road. We've also opened up 2 new Petro locations in addition to the location we have in West Memphis. West Memphis has been open for going on 2 years now. We have Tamara Carter and Matt Keinrith working over there. Please stop in and visit with them. We've also opened up in Girard, Ohio. Scott Dunkel is up there. And this week we're opening up in Atlanta, Georgia. Pamela Warren will be the recruiter in that office. I'd like to invite all of our drivers to come by, sit down, and have a cup of coffee with them, visit, kind of see how the recruiting operations are working. Thank you for your time. Look forward to hearing from each and every one of you.
You know, as I mentioned earlier, we're celebrating 20 years as a company here at MS Carriers. That's a long way, and it's still just the beginning in other ways. To help us realize how far we've come as a company, we're now going to be joined by Woody Welch. He's Senior Vice President of Marketing, and Woody's been with the company for quite a while. Woody, 20 years.
Well, I'll tell you about the old times, but my part has only been 15 years. I joined MS Carriers in 1982, and that was a point in time, I guess the company had about 45 trucks. We were probably running somewhere around 30 company trucks and probably about 15 owner-operators back then. And we've come a long way, haven't we?
Yeah, we really have. That's a tremendous amount of growth over that period of time. You know, being over there in marketing, you need to give us the inside track. What's the scoop over there?
Well, today we're at about 30, I would say around 3,500 trucks. And this last year, we've had approximately 22% growth. And starting out this year, January 1 of 1998, I think we were starting the year at about 3,000, and we should finish up at around 3,650 trucks. The areas that we're really focusing on this year for growth is our western region, along with western land haul, and then our Mexican markets. We just recently opened up a new terminal operation in Tijuana, And I've been looking at the stats on the Tijuana operation. It looks like our length of haul in and out of Tijuana is going to run around 2,000-mile length of haul. And I know that's something our drivers really like to do, is get under a load of freight that goes 2,000 miles.
Of course, miles is money, right? What else do we have to look forward to for the rest of this year and next year, and even rounding the corner there into the new millennium?
Well, I think our marketing department will continue to focus on longer length of haul traffic, and also freight that is more driver friendly maybe than what we've had in the past. One of the things that we've kind of noticed that on the longer length of haul traffic, normally it is much more driver friendly than some of the shorter haul traffic, like in our regional operations. Now, regional operations, you know and understand that a lot of this freight is I guess what you might call driver unfriendly freight. A lot of it is multi-stops and driver unload. But that's some of the benefits of being in a regional operation, is without question being able to get home more often. Some of the other things that we're really looking at of trying to make MS Carriers a better place for our drivers is we're focusing on what we call the dwell time. And that's the time from when our drivers set their PTAs until they're dispatched. And I might mention something to our drivers. PTA accuracy is very, very important, because this is what our planners are relying upon as far as their time available, so that we can plan them and dispatch them to a load of freight. And I might just want to mention to our drivers one more time how critical it is that they continue to give us accurate PTAs. Another area that we're focusing on is buffer time. And that's the time, excess time under load because of the appointment of the delivery. And what we're trying to do is tighten these delivery windows down to where it'll decrease the buffer time, and this should help improve utilization and get our drivers more miles. There's one other area that I certainly want to come back to that I kind of mentioned earlier, and that is our freight going in and out of Mexico. Mike Starnes this year come to me and asked me to have planned growth of about 50% on our Mexican market. And right now we're tracking at about a 45% growth rate. That particular traffic, you'll find that the average length of haul is around 1,200 miles, and it's extremely, extremely fast freight. Much of this freight is having to be dispatched on a 45-mile-an-hour dispatch time, which causes us to relay the freight. And I just want to let everybody know that you certainly should anticipate seeing a lot more freight in and out of Mexico, especially after opening up our Tijuana operation. One final thing that I'd like to say to our drivers is that our customers today are demanding a continued higher level of service. And I would just like to ask every driver to make sure that they have a perfect service record. Hey, I appreciate y'all, and I'll see you later.
Joining us now is Joe Barra, Senior Vice President of Finance and Administration. Joe, 20 years, that's a long way to go. A handful of you got to know each other, got together, had a vision. How did all this come about?
Well, I think Mike had the vision. I think he started the company on his pool table and was working out of his home, had a couple of trucks running. He actually started the company when he was still with Rebel Motor Freight. He was running a union underwear contract from Batesville, Mississippi to Florence, Alabama with 2 trucks. Later on, he left Rebel and started this company. I was one of his customers at Rebel, and he made sales calls on me all times, where I knew him from. After he had been in the company for about 3 years, he called me one day and said he needed some financial help, and would I consider coming to work for him. We got together at that point. He had about 50 trucks and probably 7 or 8 inside employees. And I closed the books on 1981 for $5.4 million of revenue. It looked like we're going to do about $525 million in revenue this year. So that's been the growth that we've been part of. I think Mike had the vision. The rest of us have just been the executors of that vision. Mike Reeves was at the company as Vice President of Sales when I joined the company at the start of 1982. Later that year, he resigned and went back to Yellow Motor Freight, and at that time we hired the erstwhile Mr. Welch, who has been with us directing our sales effort ever since.
And y'all put this company together in a very special kind of way, very unique. It's a public company, so the drivers can own the stock and that kind of thing. It's also very obvious that you're very driver-oriented. And you put together a company that's almost more like a family than a business.
Yeah, we still have these cookouts occasionally in honor of our employees, but back when we were smaller, we used to have a fish fry that Mike's father, Milton Starnes, fried all the fish, and we fed everyone fish, but we could do that with about 10 pounds of fish. It didn't take much at that time. It's a lot more than that now. We've obviously set up a stock ownership program for all of our employees with some stock options, as well as a 401k plan. I think we're one of about 3 companies in America with a broad-based stock option plan, that is in the truckload carriers, and I think we were the first ones to do that. And we do care about our employees, and our drivers have always been very, very important to us. I used to know all the drivers and all the office employees as well as the mechanics. Now it's hard to just know the office employees, much less all of our drivers, but we still appreciate the job they do tremendously.
Oh, a lot more employees now. But, I have to ask you, looking back on it now 15, 20 years later, did y'all ever have a clue? Did you ever have an idea at all that it would get to be so big or so much?
That's kind of funny in a way. We used to borrow all of our money from Associates Leasing, and there's a man that worked for Associates that may have retired now. His name was Fred Henderson, but he used to sit in my office up on Florida Street, and I'd lay out these forecasts and projections to him, and he used to just laugh. And later on, he told me he thought they were all smoke and mirrors, but we have surpassed all of those, and I don't think any of us ever thought it would get this big and continue to grow like it is, but the entire success of the company and the continued growth and success is a direct reflection of the quality of our employees throughout.
And with this continued growth, I have to ask you to take out your crystal ball again and look into it, forecast into the future, into the year 2000 and beyond. What do you see?
I don't know. I think our industry over the next 10 years, the truckload industry, is going to consolidate tremendously. I think that this has started already, and like the 2 small acquisitions that we've done, several acquisitions by some of our peers. I do think some of the bigger companies will get together during that time, and there'll probably be anywhere from 3 to 5 mega truckload carriers at the end of that time. 20 years out, I haven't got a clue. Your guess is probably better than mine.
Well, my guess is, as long as management and office staff and the drivers continue the vision that MS Carriers is going to be around for an awfully long time, my hat's off to each and every one of you.
We appreciate that a lot, and I think that a lot of this has to be a reflection back to our leader, who is Mike Starnes, and he has always hired quality people and given those people the enough rope to do their jobs, and it's let all of us help succeed and let all of us grow in the company. Again, the primary barrier that we have to continued growth and success is finding enough quality drivers to man our trucks in a safe and courteous manner so that we may deliver freight and we can continue to get good rates from our customers and continue to be recognized as one of the peer companies or one of the elite of the trucking companies of America. And that's probably our barrier to the future and also our opportunity for the future. At the same time, this company has succeeded on the efforts of an awful lot of people, and we all understand and recognize that, and we really appreciate their efforts.
And I'm sure as long as everyone continues to work together on that MS Carrier teamwork spirit, that we're going to realize even bigger and better things yet to come. Well, that about wraps up another edition of the MS Carriers Delivering Your Future program. And before I forget, happy 20th anniversary, MS Carriers. Until next time, this is Keith Schaefer, reminding you to keep your eyes on the road and a vision on your future.
You're a special breed of cowboy, riding the open road, Boston to the bayous, pulling them all the load. 300 horses, making them hum, headed down that highway in the early morning sun. And we're in it for the long haul, behind you every mile, a team you can count on every day. You're the best at what you do, and it makes us proud that you're riding the white stallion of the highway. We put you in the best rig and keep those wheels rolling. We'll get your miles and then get you back home. We respect your independence, we'll back you all the way. We're dedicated people, doing what it takes. And it is, working it out together, moving it out there better. Texas and Ohio, West Virginia, Tennessee, Louisiana, Mississippi, Georgia and Missouri, Canada to Mexico. You're riding with the best team on the road, delivering your future. MS carriers and you. And we're ready for the long haul, behind you every mile, a team you can count on every day. You're the best at what you do, and it makes us proud that you're driving the white stallion of the highway, ready for the long haul. Ready for the long haul. Delivering your future. Delivering your future. Yeah, mass carriers and you. Mount 'em up and let's get some miles. And we're ready for the long haul. In it for the long haul. Yeah, for the long haul. In it for the long haul. Delivering your future. Delivering your future. Yeah, man. Carriers and you. You're a special breed of cowboy, riding the open road, Boston to the bayous, pulling them all the load. 300 horses, making them hum, headed down that highway in the early morning sun. And we're in it for the long haul, behind you every mile, a team you can count on every day. You're the best at what you do, and it makes us proud that you're riding the white stallion of the highway. We put you in the best rig, we keep those wheels rolling. We'll get your miles and then get you back home. We respect your independence, we'll back you all the way. We're dedicated people and doing what it takes. And we're in it for the long haul, behind you every mile, a team you can count on every day. You're the best at what you do, and it makes us proud that you're driving the white stallion of the highway. We're in it for the long haul. Know how about a truckload? Delivering your future. Delivering your future. Yeah, best carriers and you. We believe in honesty and telling it like it is. Working it out together, moving it out there better. Texas and Ohio, West Virginia, Tennessee, Louisiana, Mississippi, Georgia and Missouri, Canada to Mexico. You're riding with the best team on the road, delivering your future. Yeah, man, carriers and you. And we're ready for the long haul, behind you every mile, a team you can count on every day. You're the best at what you do, and it makes us proud that you're driving the white stallion of the highway, ready for the long haul. Ready for the long haul. Delivering your future. Delivering your future. Yeah, man, carriers and you. get some mine.